Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you can all hear me loud and clear.
Yes,
So
we
we
can
can.
hear you.
All right then. Thank you, Elsie. Okay, so it's with great pleasure to have you join our live webinar today, Vatebra Digital Transformation Series 5. By now, we'll all agree a new work culture is imminent and leading our businesses through this disruptive period. Recently, increasing numbers of people have been saying goodbyes to their rigorous work commutes. As a result of recent developments, it has become pertinent that we move into the future of technology in the workplace. That is why we at Vatebra have put together this webinar to share with you how to embrace and build on technology advancements to meet business requirements and employee expectations. Today, we'll be discussing tech-driven HR, the future of work. At the end of this session, you will gain better insights and get greater transparency in spotting bottlenecks and eliminating latency in decision making. You would also be able to identify the best means, methods through simplified forms and automatic processes. My name is Musumola Adewale Akobada. Subsequently, you will be hearing my colleague's name. Her name is Elsie. She'll be the one facilitating this session today. After the presentation, Adela Yomi Patrick will coordinate the question and answer session. So kindly please drop your questions in the chat room or use the raise hand feature if you would like to speak after the end of the session. Also, Gbemileke Daniel will respond to technical related questions, being our subject matter expert. Thank you so very much as you listen. Elsie, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Moso. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our webinar presentation today. It's glad to have you. My name is Elsie Njokom. I'll be facilitating this presentation on tech-driven HR, the future of work. So today we are going to be looking at the need for human resource management to wear a technology makeover, as well as the future of work, bearing in mind some of the environmental factors that are already affecting or impacting on businesses and workplace. So talking about environmental factors, we start with technology. We already know the impact technology is having on workplace. The method of work has changed. Technology is bringing about newness as well as flexibility that comes with work. Then the way businesses also relate with their clients and customers has changed as a result of technology. Again, this newness that technology is driving in organization, we already have it and we know it already. Now we look at other external factors that is not only technology that is invading workplace that we already know, this pandemic. So COVID-19 has been recorded as one of the biggest business distractions in our generation, because companies are coming up with different methods, strategies, policies to see how they can fit into the new normal. Policies like face masks, remote work policy, social distancing policies, again, to see how they can fit into this new technology or new normal. So there are different methods, again, that work is changing as a result of this pandemic. And going by this recent research that was carried by Society for Human Resource Management on the impact of COVID-19 on workforce, we see that most businesses have adjusted and some are adjusting, trying to tell you that across different industries, the pandemic has really affected workforce. It is bringing about revamping, companies are revamping their operations, again, as a result of this. So if we have in mind the way technology has already invaded workplace, as well as this technology, let us look at what the company of the future is. Like I mentioned earlier, we know technology is changing, customers, clients, environment, everything is just changing. So for any company that wants to be in the future, must step up and have a shared sense of purpose. What do I mean by having shared sense of purpose? The company needs to have a realistic, in quotes, will. They have to be real in their vision. Again, a culture of collaboration is needed. What do I mean by collaboration? Of course, collaboration with departmental lines, management, ensuring that the company does not harbor competition. Colleagues do not see themselves as competitors. If you have that culture of collaboration, ideas and information will flow easily. People do not need to hoard information just because maybe they're trying to maybe hide it so that their colleagues will not know. So if you have that culture of collaboration, it's going to bring about better work performances. Again, there's going to be maximized knowledge as well as capabilities. Now, if you introduce, say, technology into strategy, it's going to help the company to come up with an ecosystem built to ensure that their business values are driven, as opposed to the traditional ways that work or business models are being handled. Looking at the new ways of working in the company of the future, we cannot remember when this pandemic started. Most companies adjusted to the new work model or new work from home model to safeguard their employees, as well as also being part of the workforce. Now, one of the advantages of working from home model is that it's going to give avenue for, say, nursing mothers, caregivers to still be part of the workforce. They're going to have their free, say, flexible time, flexible schedule. They'll have time to spend with their families. Now that this pandemic is gradually easing out again, companies are adopting virtual workspace model. In this model, giving opportunity for people to work just anywhere they choose from. If someone had told me that I'm going to be working remotely in Nigeria, I will not believe it, because we already know that, this pandemic has changed or bringing out a lot of changes. Now, there is shared space model. In this model, entrepreneurs, startups team up together to share the same office space so as to reduce cost of operations. We have autonomous station or autonomous workstation model. What happens in this model is that people have, or there's a sense of option and choice. People choose their tasks and carry out their activities as opposed to doing it because someone is asking them to do so. So we have smart work model. In smart work model, we understand that, like I mentioned earlier, technology is changing. Companies are adopting blockchain technology, big data, artificial intelligence. So again, with these new technologies, companies are using them as well as developing existing technology to see how they can improve upon performances and satisfactions that comes on the job. Let's look at what the company of the future or what the future holds, knowing that there are a lot of factors that are shaping the method of work, a lot of factors, external factors are really affecting this. Let's look at what the future holds for companies. Two things. We start with social capital. From this definition, we already know what social capital is. It is a network of relationship among people who live and work in a particular society. So if you bring that relationship into workplace, there's going to be a culture of collaboration. There's going to be participation. If I'm struggling with my tax, I should be able to meet my team member to say, guy, you know what, I'm struggling with this tax, please help me. Your team member will look at it and assist you to drive that task because he doesn't see you as a competitor, but he sees you as someone who needs to be teamed up together to achieve a common goal of the organization. Again, having social capital is going to result to people having, say, workplace diversity. You rely on your employees or rely on your colleagues or your team members for support and morals. If I'm not performing well in my job, again, I should rely on my employees or my team members, like I mentioned, to assist me and give me positive feedback. So those are the things that driving social capital into workplace can help you do. But we know that social capital cannot effectively be driven in an organization without the touch of technology. So what technology does is that it brings people together and it helps again to reduce some of the challenges that comes up in working with team members, because there's going to be easy collaboration and easy cooperation again. So driving technology into workplace is going to help you achieve sense of purpose. There's going to be potential and perspective. So if you have, take for instance, if you have a project management software in your organization. What it's going to help you do is you come up with a project charter. And from that project charter, you know roles, responsibilities, and again, milestones. So employees or maybe your team members do not need to disturb you or struggle with that. They already have an idea of what they're supposed to do at any given time. So what I'm saying is that there's no how you can create a social capital or a platform to bring people together, a platform for work diversity or workplace diversity without involving technology. Again, we understand that technology is affecting every aspect of our lives. And of course, we are not surprised that even in HR, technology is also invading. How? In the ways that documents are being managed now, the way performance appraisals are handled, and the way the way performance appraisals are being handled, and again, the way there is a relationship between HR and their employees. So technology is helping with advancements in technology. It is helping HR now to move away from paperwork and focus more on people work. But before we really dive into this HR technology, let us define what HR technology is. HR technology, if I can define it, is an umbrella. What do I mean by umbrella? It's an umbrella that contains software as well as associated hardware to automate HR processes in an organization. As HR professionals, we already know the processes. Is it from recruitment, salary and compensation, benefits, even up to retirement and exit. So involving technology to help you drive that processes in an organization is so helpful. Like I mentioned earlier, companies are moving away from the normal, or let me say normal ways that HR is being practiced. They're now focusing more on people as opposed to on paper, because some of these routine jobs can be handled by computers. So that HR will again leave some of those, routine jobs and let technology help them drive that. So going by this research that was carried out by Deloitte in partnership with Villanova University on some of the key 10 HR challenges. If you can see, I'm going to discuss from first the number 1 and 2, then 9 to 10. As a HR, we understand that one of the issues that employees or issues that HR management have is in change management. Why do I say that? If a change management is not properly handled in an organization, what happens? It's going to result to multiple redundancies. It's going to result to job displacement. It's also going to result to dissatisfaction. And it's a lot of work for a HR to handle. It's tasking. Or you talk about leadership development. A HR is expected to come up with a process. He's also expected to come up with structure, and also expected to train future leaders in an organization. It's a lot of work again. It's challenging. Or is it staff retention? Is staff retention? A HR again is expected to manage dissatisfied employees whose say their plans or their plans in an organization is not being achieved, or employees who are dissatisfied as well as or as a result of maybe salary or their career path is not achieved in the organization, or they feel that their self-actualization plans is not being handled in a company. Self-actualization, like when a manager wants to be a director and the company does not provide such platform for the individual, so it becomes dissatisfying. So those are the things that a HR professional is expected to handle. Again, it's challenging. Is it on benefit costs, health and welfare? As a HR, we are again expected to manage resources to make sure that employees' welfare are taken care of. Employees are not having low morals, or employees are not having or are not dissatisfied. It's again a lot of work for a HR person to manage. So, and again, there's no how you can effectively, as a HR director or professional, handle some of these challenges without involving technology. Technology is going to help you move away from paperwork, like I've been singing it, from paperwork to people work. People work like coming up with policies, implementing these policies, and also coming up with employee relationship as opposed to the normal tasks that HR do, because some of these tasks, technology can help you move away from that. So having said that, we understand in Vatebra that there is need for HR to wear a makeup, a technology makeup. What do I mean by that? We understand again that for companies to want to belong to the future of, as a result of the way, there are changes in workplace, there is need for a HR to involve technology to drive their processes end to end. So we have that understanding in Vatebra, and we have come up with a solution that we call Easy Worka. Easy Worka is a 360-degree human resource management solution to help you automate your processes end to end. And the key value of this Easy Worka is that it is a local content. That means I do not need to buy licenses or renew licenses. Most times, one of the challenges that people experience is that maybe the solution is they need to pay licenses to acquire it, and it's not sustainable. So now that the federal government is encouraging organizations to patronize local content in line with NIDA ICT, so there is need for companies to, again, patronize local content so that you'll be able to do any customization that you want to. Because most times people complain that the solution is cast on stone, they can't make any changes on it. So I'm going to take little of your time to run you through what this Easy Worka is going to help you do as a HR director. The first of all is that Easy Worka will help you manage your recruitment. Now that we have social media, you can post job adverts. Social media, like I mentioned, post job adverts. It's going to help you do what? Speed up your hiring processes. Because if you have posted your advert on some of these medias, you are going to have a wider applicant. So this software will help you reduce, or maybe, let me say, post-screening. It will help you to handle your CV screening. Handle your CV screening, your shortlisting, long listing, as well as onboarding. You don't need, really, like I mentioned, you don't need manual processes to do that. We talk about employee information management. What employee information management will help you do is to retrieve every information about an employee that you want. Is it their salary information, their job information, or the job history, salary history, and even any other disciplinary actions that have been taken on the employee throughout their life cycle in the company. We have appraisal and performance management. What happens in this module is that it's going to simplify your evaluation processes and reduce time, especially when it comes to appraisals. If you have, say, 1,000 employees, that means you're going to print out 1,000 forms for appraisal. So it's going to help you simplify some of these processes. We talk about time and attendance management. Remember I mentioned earlier that HR technology involves hardware and software. So if you're talking about this time and attendance management, you have a biometrics that will integrate into this system so that you can monitor clock in and clock out. You don't need people to write their names on a sheet of paper or maybe a long note. People come in and they do manual attendance. It's like I mentioned, those things are moving away. You talk about employee self-service module. What happens there is that you give an opportunity for an employee to also be part of it. That means from this platform, they can request for leave. They can even maybe change one or two things about their information with the authorization from HR. What I mean by changing one or two things about their information is maybe they have their marital status have changed, or maybe they have, let's say, their address again have changed. So they can quickly do that without having to disturb HR. Now that we are talking about flex times or maybe flex number of days of coming to work. So some of these approvals, you do not need physical people or meeting people to do that. And again, companies are adjusting into social distancing. So those are the things that employees can do on their own. Like I mentioned, if you have authorization from HR, meaning that there are some things about this that employees cannot change, things like their gender or maybe their age, because you can't become a man today and tomorrow you choose to be a woman. So these are the things that you can change. So for people in public sector, they already have e-registry. That is where they have their documents situated. This e-registry is an endless Excel spreadsheet if you have seen it. So it's easy for you as a director to integrate this Easy Worka or integrate this e-registry into Easy Worka so that you can continue your process. Most times the fear is that the technology is coming to take away people's job. So I think that's another idea that people really need to know. It's not coming to take away your job, but it's coming to automate the processes that you have been doing. Then we have harassment reporting. You can report any aspect of harassment. There's a platform for you to report. Maybe someone is bullying you, your boss is bullying you in the office. You just report it. So we have created that feature in this Easy Worka to help employees achieve that. Then we have asset management. What happens in asset management is that if you have, I'm trying to close it. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen. Go ahead.
Okay. So for asset management, you are going to record all the assets of the company given to an employee. Is it mobile phones, laptops, what again? Official cars. So you record the quantity given, the date it was given, and the serial numbers attached to an employee, so that when you look at their profile, you see those information. Like I mentioned earlier, companies are moving into blockchain technology to do their performance appraisal management. They're using artificial intelligence and all the rest. So you come up with this report and analysis to help you as a HR analyze every aspect of report that you want. Efficient HR management software to analyze your report. What kind of report do HR generate? Is it salary report, retirement report? Is it turnover report? Easy for you to handle. We look at electronic memo management. Like I mentioned, people don't need to carry paper to sign, asking to approve. They can do it on their own. They can log on to this system and send memo. To track, you can track documents sent as well as documents received. You have learning and professional development. As a HR professional or a director, you already have a strategic HR plan laid down for every individual in the organization. That means that as they're coming, you already know the trainings that they're supposed to, embark on throughout their employees' life cycle in the company. So with this platform, you can customize the training to suit into an employee's maybe needs. So you customize that training platform, like I mentioned, to really fit into what employee requires. There is third-party integration. If you already have a standalone solution, say procurement software or project management software, instead of buying new ones, you just integrate it into this platform and it will run seamlessly. For a HR practitioner, again, most of them move away from financial managing of payroll because they feel it's a lot of work. So most times it's the finance department that handle it. But with this Easy Worka, you can seamlessly handle your payroll. And again, not just payroll, some other statutory deductions that comes with it, you can manage them. Is it pension, payee, National Housing Fund? You can, handle it efficiently without involving or maybe doing it locally or manually. So we understand that again, and we make sure that this solution is deployed in 2 models. Like I mentioned, most companies now are taking their time to maybe come to work just 3 times or 4 times in a day. So there is need for you to access your data or information just anywhere you are, as opposed to coming to the office to do that. So we advise people to go for on cloud so that you have limited coverage to your information. Again, if you have mobile phones that we know, most of these mobile phones are very easy for us to use, but most people complain about the HR solution that they are using because it's very difficult, or maybe they're not able to use it, or it does not address the exact pain point. Most people would say, I want to go for open source. They go for open source, but it does not address exactly what they want to achieve. It becomes very difficult. So looking at the easy worker value proposition, we have you being able to oversee your employees. That means you do not need endless Excel spreadsheet to do that. So at a click of a finger, you see your employee, you oversee them. Then it is customizable. Like I mentioned, it will suit exactly that same process that you want to automate. It's not cast on stone. Most times people buy software that they cannot automate, they can't make any changes in it. So they are forcing their system into the platform, as opposed to the platform is supposed to just automate what they are doing manually. Now, it helps you to reduce cost. Like I mentioned again, if you have, say, 1,000, 2,000 employees, and you are using manual method to do their evaluation, that means you are going to print out those, number of documents for them. So it helps you to reduce cost of stationery, reduces human error that always come up when maybe appraisals or any other functions in HR. Again, we understand the importance of performance and appraisal management system in an organization. And again, we listen to feedback from people. So with that feedback, we came up to have a solution, a standalone solution for appraisals. And what it will help you do is that for people or for HR professionals or directors that already have a HR platform or solution of software they are using, but they don't have appraisal module. So what you do is, with this standalone, you just integrate it into your appraisal, into your system already. Now, it will also help to guide some of the challenges that HR experience during appraisals. Challenges like halo effects, personal prejudice, and recent effects that crop up during appraisals. Again, some of the key features of AppraiseMe is that for a HR person, during your appraisal period, it will help you to make promotion decisions, knowing that every employee is accounted for. Nobody is left behind. You can set up your appraisal time and period. From the comfort of their homes, they can get a notification that appraisal is maybe tomorrow. With that, again, you reduce printing out papers, using manual method to handle that. For people that use CBT to write their appraisals, you can upload your CBT results or your CBT scores on this platform. Again, for HR people that want to use, depending on the kind of appraisal method they want to go with, is it management by objective, 360 degrees, 720, you want to use KPIs to handle your appraisals, you can seamlessly, set up those parameters that you want to use on this platform. As I'm rounding up, we understand again the importance of security, because we are dealing with people's data, people information like maybe their health information or their salary. So we make sure that these platforms are secured. What do I mean by that? There is firewall which prevents hackers and unauthorized users. Again, with that, a HR person or a HR professional, director sees who does what and when on the system. Even when employees try to make some changes, you already know where they're supposed to make changes. Then we have cyber security to measure and protect your sensitive data. I can say that HR is a big deal, really. It is a big deal because they have the knowledge. What I mean by they have the knowledge is that they have the knowledge to bring people together. They have the knowledge to ensure that employees work better. They also have the knowledge to transform culture in an organization. They have the knowledge to drive business processes in an organization. So if you're a HR person, please, why not allow technology to drive your processes? People are even moving away from this even routine jobs. Allow technology to drive your processes so that you can focus more on people work, like formulating processes, like I mentioned earlier, formulating processes and employee relationship. So thank you very much for your audience, and I hope to get to embark upon so that we can help you again drive your processes seamlessly. Thank you for your time. I wait for your questions.
Thank you so very much, Elsie. Adelayemi Patrick, please, can you kindly, let's take questions now. I see that there are a lot of questions out there in the chat.
All right. Thank you, Mosu. Thank you, Elsie. That was very insightful. We have a question from Opeyemi Yekini. He's showing hands in the participant room.
Okay.
Opeyemi Yekini, can you unmute him so he can ask his question?
All right. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, I just want to commend your great effort. My name is Opeyemi Yekini, calling from Abuja.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, there is these norms, even before the independence, all the organizations, they are used to and accustomed to paperwork. But we are now moving to people-centered work, just as you have said, my sister. Yeah. Is there a way we can, first of all, build their orientation? There is possibility of initial resistance. What do we do? Do we need to, first of all, because I'm an ICT strategist as well, but I've learned so much from today. I have not learned up to this. I've learned so much. So is there no need, first of all, to build the capacity of the staff members and other people around before migrating? I'm seeing a form of migration now into the new normal.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say something about that. If not, some people will not see it as something that is necessary. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for your questions. There's one thing that people see technology to do in companies. They see technology that is coming to take away their jobs. That's one thing. So they need an orientation. People need to understand that technology is not coming to take away their job. Rather, it's coming to enhance what they are doing already, to help them. So we need an orientation. Again, maybe we are going to organize another webinar on how to orientate people. So there's this, like you mentioned, there's this fear that technology is going to take away their jobs. So there is, like I mentioned again, we need to first give them that orientation, letting them know that it's not coming to take away their job, but it's coming to help them improve on their jobs. I have met some of the HR directors, and one of the questions they come up with is, if you now remove some of these routine jobs I'm doing, what then will I do? I told him, focus more on people. You do not need all these routine jobs that computer or technology can help you drive. Focus more on people. So again, HR is moving away from paperwork and more of people work. So thank you very much. There's need to first come up with an orientation. Give them, there's change management. Most people will kick against change management. So you give them that orientation before you even, embark on deploying a solution for them. Because if change management is not properly handled, you see people frustrating some of these new methods that you want to go with. Thank you very much. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Hello, Mr. Opeyemi. All right, thank you very much, Elsie, for that question.
Yeah.
There is also another question from Faith Oyepeju. She's showing hands. She would like to ask questions.
Okay.
If you can unmute her, please.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And you've really done an amazing work at presenting this. It makes HR work a lot easier in this age. Yeah. So I also want to respond to what the last person that asked questions said. So, and this is it. Yes, maybe from his perspective, maybe he's talking about the older generation of staff. I think the millennials these days, and I would say maybe the millennials and generation, the 20s, they are already into technology. So they are not the type that carry papers around. I don't like papers personally. So anything technology, I'm home with it. So yes, maybe for the older generation, we may need to do a form of sensitization. But whether we like it or not, technology has come to stay. So it is either you come up to speed with it, or it takes you out of employment or your career. So yes, maybe on our own side, we need to do some sensitization. But even on the employees' part, whether we like it or not, it has come to stay. We are even playing catch up in Nigeria. So we need to tell ourselves the bitter truth. If you want to stay in paid employment or you want to have a career, you need to embrace technology. So we should stop pampering people at this age and time. So another point of mine also is that, yes, I understand that people will still have their job even in the face of technology, but the volume of people we need at workplace is going to reduce. So this also brings me back to whether you want to be pampered or you want to come up to speed. So the technology knowledge you are able to take in now will determine whether you are going to stay in at work or be knocked out. So how do you contend for your profession at this age? You need to come up to speed with necessary technology skills and co. So yes, this is a welcome development, and like I said, we are basically playing catch up. So I've learned that whether it's either I get killed or kill my pessimism. So whether if I want to continue playing here, I need to up my skills basically. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Faith. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Can I say something on that?
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Elsie.
You know, as HR professionals that we are now, we are hiring based on digital skills and human skills. So some things that technology can help us drive, we can do them. We can just involve technology to help us do that as opposed to hiring. But like you mentioned, there's need for people now to develop skills, technology skills, not just soft skills, yes, but digital skills is needed again for every aspect of employment. Someone want to say something? Ola?
Okay, so I think I want to read from the chat room now. Mr. Bello says, we only need to continually improve our competencies like we are doing now to meet up with the ever-changing world. So we can't run away from the fact that the world is changing and we need to step up our games as well. So there's another question from Thomas Daniel. Yes, let's start with that. Thomas Daniel says, how do we maximize the gains of tech-driven HR in developing countries like Nigeria in this age of artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and machine learning?
Have we gotten to that level in Nigeria? We have to even first start by, reorientating people to embrace technology in workforce, because those machine learning, they are new technologies in Nigeria. In Nigeria, they are new technologies. So we have to first give people that opportunity to even, train them, give them that sensitization to embrace the little technology that is working now, as opposed to the new, what will I say, technology. So I would suggest that we deal with the technology that we have now before, the new technology.
All right, thank you, Elsie. Another question is, a lot of participants are actually asking for the slides and recordings. I'd like to say at this point that the recordings for the webinar will be sent to every participant that have attended. And then if you have other questions or other inquiries, you can always send them to the contact that is displaying on the slide. So there's another question, the biometric aspect, you spoke about biometrics. Is it facial biometrics or fingerprints, data capturing, or is it both?
You know, there are some biometrics that has fingerprints. There are some that even have optics. We just use our optics to log in without using fingerprints. So it depends on the hardware the company wants to go with, whether they want to do biometrics or data capture. I don't know if I answered this question.
Okay, so that is to say that Worka can integrate either of those options.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you very much. This question is for our technical team. Bemileke Daniels, please can you unmute your mic to respond to this question? How compatible is Worka application to other applications used in the organization? Can it be integrated with other departmental processes or procedures? So here I'm hearing something about third-party integration.
Exactly.
How can that happen? I'd like Bemileke to speak on that shortly.
Okay, thank you, Adela. Worka was built on a platform that is very easy to integrate with. And we have APIs, application programming interface that has been built around it that can be easily plugged in with any existing application that organization is using presently. So any way organization wants to go, it can already have an API that is flexible and scalable that can be plugged into any of their existing applications. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Bemileke. There is another question. This is for you, Elsie.
Okay.
How can we actualize Worka in Nigeria's public sector, given the bottlenecks in our system?
Initially,
so if we want to use Worka in public sector, how easy can that be actualized?
You know, when we started this, we mentioned that, or during question and answer section, we mentioned that the first thing is change management. We have to first let them know that technology is not coming to take away their job. So if they have that understanding that it's coming to improve upon what they already have, the reception is going to be easy. We know that, yes, there's this bureaucracy that is public sector. But with Worka, you can reduce some of these processes, especially say approval processes. You don't need to wait until Oga is not around, or maybe he went on leave for 2 weeks. So you need to wait until he comes to the office to approve that document. So with this Worka, Oga already has this, he can access information anywhere he is and send his approval without him having to be present at the office. So again, it's reorientation, letting them know the importance of technology driving their HR in the organization.
Okay, thank you, Elsie. I'd like to call on Matthew Omoaka. I want him to throw more light on a question. The question about maximizing the gains of tech-driven HR in developing countries like Nigeria, considering that we are in the age of artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and machine learning. Matthew, if you can throw more light on that question, please.
Okay. Now, with the advent of all of that, all of those technologies, we have big data, Internet of Things, and machine learning. The truth about the matter is that our system today, Worka, is built with the agility and the nimbleness to be able to quickly cascade into those technologies like machine learning and artificial intelligence. So what that will mean is that fundamentally, when data is put into the system, this data can be mined and then intelligence can come out of the data. For example, you have a basic data of the states of origin, or basic data of the date somebody was born, or basic data of the qualification, the degree that an individual has. So when you're doing possibly an appraisal or a promotion, what artificial intelligence or machine learning can help in that regard will mean they can be just a drawdown of that particular information that you're looking for. People that have master's degree, with a touch of a button, you can pull out all the individuals that have master's degree, and that can help in decision making. So when we talk about emerging technologies like machine learning, big data, and artificial intelligence, it's not to say this our application cannot offer those cannot work with those technologies. How our system is built is such that it can easily be used by our engineers to leapfrog into those technologies and provide value to the decision makers. So that is a point that is very critical in this presentation. Our Easy Worker, all of our solutions are built with the agility and the nimbleness to quickly move into the new and emerging technologies that we have today. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew, for that. All right. Okay, so Mike and Jivan, they want to know, Elsie, this is your question. Okay. They want to know which organization has Easy Worker being used. This will help us appreciate the effectiveness of the solution.
Okay, thank you very much, Mike. Easy Worker has been used in Standard Organization of Nigeria, SON. It's even a public sector. So it has also been used in Federal Road Safety Corps and some other private organizations again. So it depends on, like you mentioned, change management. So if SON, which is a government parastatal, can embrace Easy Worker, any other government agencies can do same. So it depends on change management, making sure that people know technology is not coming to take away their job, like I've been saying, but to help them to be more efficient.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Opeyemi Yekini has one more thing to say. Please, can we unmute his mic? Hello, Mr. Opeyemi.
Yeah, all right. Hello, my sister.
All right.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, thank you very much. Once again, I don't know, I just want to appreciate you. Now, again, the other area is what should be the minimum staff members in number of an organization that can really apply this. Now, I don't know whether my question is clear. That's one. Two, is there a way we can, if you can partner with different organizations, especially here in the northern Nigeria, especially in Abuja, is there a way we can have another forum of this whereby we can contact other big organizations and MDAs, that's a ministry, department, and agencies, to be part of this? Could you imagine that there are some strong MDAs here in Abuja, they don't even have a functional website, just to start with. So, and they need your help. I'm not blaming them because they never saw the importance, but now it's a necessity. So I'm looking at that in that regards. Maybe later I can communicate with you, not for any financial gain, but so that we can drive the country in the direction it should go. So with this, it will now be mandatory for all the MDAs to have something like this for the benefit of the entire Nigerians. Things are not working well in many of our MDAs at all. I'm sorry to use that word. So my first question, what should be for the small scale, medium scale, what should be the least number of the workers they should have before they can embrace this? And the other one is on engaging the MDAs. Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. Elsie?
Okay, so for the minimum staff member, it doesn't have a specific minimum number because we're talking about technology driving it. So you can start, it's like I mentioned, it's customizable and it's scalable. So it gives you opportunity or avenue to include any number of staff that you have. So it's not limited to a certain number of staff. Then for the partnership, I don't know whether I've answered that question. Then for partnership with different organizations, we are going to maybe have another webinar and involve a lot of MDAs to be part of it. Like you mentioned, really, most of them, I have or I know one of these MDAs that they have 1,000 employees and they're using manual methods. It's crazy, really. They're using manual methods. During the appraisal period, you see the director sweating, moving up and down, printing a lot of papers. So we really need to sensitize them to let them know that Easy Worka can help them drive their processes efficiently, and not also letting them know that it's not coming to take away their jobs, but it's coming to support them. So thank you very much for your question. We are going to make effort to see how we can partner with different organizations to drive this process.
Okay, thank you very much, Elsie. Again, I have requests for demo and this presentation and recordings. I'd like to say that we will send recordings and presentation to every participant. And for the demo, kindly send your email to the contact on the slide, and then we'll share our demos with you. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, so it's also safe to say, considering that Mr. Opeyemi had spoken and is from Abuja, that we also have an Abuja office. You can also send your mail. We would reach out to you. So it's easier for us to have the partnership that you spoke about with the MDAs. Thank you very much for your questions. Thank you very much for your participation. I'd like to hand over.
Hold on, some people are raising their hands. Chidima Ibenedion is raising her hand.
All right, thank you very much for that, Elsie. So Chidima Ibenedion, kindly unmute her so we can take her questions.
I'm unmuted already. Good afternoon.
All right, hi Chidima, you're welcome.
Thank you. So I have two questions. First, you mentioned that the Easy Worka software application helps with recruitment management, like CV screening, shortlisting, onboarding, and all of that.
Yeah.
So is it safe to say that this also doubles as an ATS, that's applicant tracking system?
Yes, please.
Okay. And then you also mentioned that there are different modules. We have the harassment reporting, employee self-service, time and attendance management, and all of that. Is it possible that an organization can decide to use one or two modules and not necessarily use all the modules that are in the software?
Yes, please, it is.
So they're allowed to make their choices. They don't have to get everything. They don't have to integrate all the features.
Because we need to understand exactly what you want to automate, the feature you want to automate, or the process you want to automate. Because most times you might not want all of them. So if you want, say, the harassment component, or you want employee self-service, we can integrate that, and you do not necessarily need to have all the Easy Worka features.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you, Chidima. There is a Salio Musa. Salio Musa has a question. His hands are up. Can we unmute him, please? Mr. Salio? Hello, Salio Musa. Okay, I don't think we can hear him. He's unmuted, but we can't hear him.
Some people are waiting on this.
Yes. Sir, please, you need to unmute your mic. But so that Shehu has a question. His hands are up.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Shehu.
Yeah. Nice presentation there on Easy Worka. I would just like to know, because you mentioned initially that Easy Worka helps organizations with recruitment. So, and for you to be able to get quality candidates in this time and age, you need to give visibility to the job post. So I want to ask, how many job boards is Easy Worker connected to right now? Such that if I post a job advert on via Easy Worker, how many job boards does it appear currently?
Okay, so Sharon, for Easy Worker, that is a setup really. So the solution has been developed. You can set up your boards. If you want it to show on 5 boards, we set it up and then you put in their URL. So anytime you post an advert, it hits those sites. So it's a setup, it's as many as you want. I hope that answers your question. Thank you, Shaun. All right. So there was a question on biometrics earlier that Elsie responded to. I also want our technical team to also give their own input or share their insights on how biometric works within Easy Worker. I'd like to call on Jameson, please. Hello, Jameson, can you hear me?
Hello, Jameson, are you there?
Hello, Taylor. Emleke is the technical person.
Okay, so if Jameson is not here, Bemileke. Hello, Bemileke, can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, Adela.
All right. Yes, there's some network glitch.
Okay,
so
can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you, Bemileke.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so
thank you, Adela.
Like
exactly on biometrics. Well, Exie, she has rightly answered the question on biometrics. What we have presently now on Easy Worker, like what Exie just rightly said, we can integrate with any biometrics, either the optics, the fingerprint one, and any other biometrics, because the application, we already build an API that is flexible to work with any biometrics. And right now, it's not something that we have experiment, but it's something that is working. It's not in experimental state, it's something that is working presently. So I can say it here that it's flexible and it can be integrated. It can be integrated with any biometrics device. Thank you, Adela.
All right. Yes, thank you very much, Bemileke.
I think some other person is raising his hand.
So there's Jeremiah Adewale. That will be the last question we'll be taking. Jeremiah Adewale, can we unmute him so we can hear his question?
Okay, hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Hi.
Yeah, that was a very nice presentation on Easy Worker. I just want to find out the Easy Worker, the application itself. Can we have your website for us to visit and then read through what the company has to offer, that the full package, and then we'll be able to make a full presentation to our organization.
You said our website?
They were working. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, so our website is www.vatebra.com. It's displayed on the slide. Can you see the slide?
No, I'm not seeing it. Okay. I think
okay, it's www.vatebra.com.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you to everyone for your questions. I hand over to Mosumola.
Thank you, Adela. And thank you, Elsie. Thank you, Bemileke. And we also like to say thank you to all the participants that have attended this session today. And details, like my colleagues have rightly said. You have details just right before you. And if you have subsequent questions to an email to the displayed contacts just right before you. We sincerely appreciate your time for joining, and we look forward to partnering or for the future business relationship with you. Thanks so very much, and have a good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.